button. We're going to go ahead and stream. We assume we are streaming to 0 people, but we wanted to have a record of what we're doing before we hop over to the buns after dinner. So
Yeah,
there
we'll
you have
probably cut this out around dinner. Though, okay. Maybe we should port to, like, Gold Saucer and then back here before getting going.
it. Okay, fine.
Because it is happy hour at Gold Saucer right now.
Uh,
Also...
No, that was yesterday.
Oh, cripes.
You
well,
are
at
just
least I didn't
off.
completely forget.
Mm.
And I can use a post-Moogle. I have mail.
There's no post-Moogle in the Gold Saucer.
Damn it. I suppose all the lazy fluffy butts that go there get distracted by the bright shiny lights and the gambling.
Dang straight. They are lazy fluffy butts after all.
Stop by the post-Moogle and Old Ta right after this, I suppose.
Yeah, we can do that. There's a bell here.
Yep, and I will use that in a minute. Because there are a couple of things that I can clear out.
Unfortunately, I've been coughing and sniffly all day. It's kind of driving me nuts.
My throat was having some trouble earlier, but I'm pretty sure it was entirely talking too much.
How did the game with Mark and Jason? Yeah.
Went very well. It is a new game that, for us means like a couple of years old. Consolation.
Third prize.
Consolation.
Woohoo! I got
Consolation all the way down. My streak is unbroken.
66k MGP. Did not think that would happen.
Almost never does for me, that's for sure. Anyway. So, yeah, we're playing a new game. Mark and I had actually played a little bit of it over Vassal.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly so we had some chance of being able to explain it to other people, in this case Jason. And the title is Versailles 1919. Basically, it's about the peace conference after World War I. And trying to win the peace. And of course, this meant lots of mechanics we weren't used to because it's a very different game. But it was good. Didn't hurt that I won, but some of that was kind of accidental. Basically there was two kind of primary ways of scoring, and I did well in both. I knew I was doing well in one. I thought I was doing poorly in the second. But the way the scoring worked wasn't what we had supposed.
Okay. I'm kind of surprised you didn't.
To my benefit.
I'm surprised you didn't break out Root since you just got that.
Well, we'd already scheduled for Versailles before I had Root.
Ah, fair enough.
Also, they have a very nice kind of step through a couple of turns with you following a script, but it's calibrated to having the full 4 people.
And you only had 3.
Right. That said, if Versailles had gone a little quicker than it actually did, I would have tried to talk them into trying out Root. But we just didn't have that amount of time by the time we finished.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I've also got a feeling that if you get Root going, you probably want to get Cat's Paw in on it as well.
Yeah, he would presumably be the 4th.
I've got a feeling that game would really tickle his fancy.
I hope so. I think it will. I think it will tickle my fancy. Jason might be the wild card, but hopefully he will like it. And if it does well with the group, then I can tell Baron to, nudge Lance a couple of times and say, get him the 5 to 6 player expansion. Because, of course, we can have up to 5 people. And we kind of have a shortage of games that go beyond 4. So getting the extra factions would actually be good if the game does well in general. Which I am hopeful.
Well, here's hoping.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Gets all of that onto auction house. Oh. One more thing. I've been avoiding doing this because it will end up with materia that I would then be keeping on my person. And it's an 8, which I have not been keeping on anything at the moment. Do I hand it to you, or do I start the process of basically selling off all the 7s and putting 8s in my retainer inventory?
You can hand to me. That's generally what you've been doing, though. I'm about ready to sell off my 4s and 5s.
Yeah.
Maybe my 6s as well.
I was handing them over to you because my scheme of storing everything kind of ran out after 7 slots. But now that the 8s don't go away most of the time when you extract them, I definitely have no real use for the 7s. So I'm thinking of just pulling out the 7s and, selling them off. Or
yeah, the 7s are still
weird
in the fact that they're less than the 6s, but more than the 5s. It's like, it doesn't.
And their item level that they work on is greater than the 6s. So, anything that a 7 can do, a 6 can do better.
Well, hand me all the 7s. What I'll probably do with them is take them over to Bubbly Pots. Take them over to Bubbly Pots. See if I can get an upgrade.
Okay, let me begin the process with the 1 stack that gets affected by this so far. Which will mean all my Savage Might 7s.
Don't take too long. We are on a tight time constraint tonight.
I know. But you realize how little I'm seeing bells and post-Moogles at the moment?
I think...
Because I'm constantly out in the middle of the wilderness.
I think there's actually a post-Moogle in Camp Broken Glass.
There probably is. Well, let's go find out.
Let's see.
After you put those away.
Just a second. I'm checking the map.
The map. Yeah. Good idea.
Yes, there is actually a delivery Moogle at Camp Broken Glass.
Okay, we can go straight there then. Because I have a very important package waiting for me.
Yes, you do.
Excuse you.
Yeah, I know generally we try not to stream during Baron's stream. We figure we're streaming to 0 people because everyone's watching Baron do his lovely art stuff. And that is just fine.
Mixed media martial arts. Except they aren't going to be mixed media. They should all be pencil.
Yes, they are all pencil. Over here.
There's a freezing fluffy butt.
I am surprised he is here. They normally don't like this kind of cold.
And I'm surprised. Yep, there it is. Thank you very much, by the way.
Happy Starlight.
Mm-hmm. And just to show off.
Show off your Starlight present.
Yes. Let's see. Mount guide. First of all, you go on the list of favorites. 2, I'm replacing the car as a fixed button.
I had a feeling. But you've been kind of drooling over that thing for about a year now.
Do you blame me?
Congrats.
Yes, thank you very much. It's not as good as riding in a chocobo carriage, but hey.
I can't drive you around all the time.
Yes, you can.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Actually, we checked with all of those people over there, right? Last time?
We did at one point, whether or not we did it after the latest quest. Okay, that's the same. Yeah, I think we've seen all of this.
Okay.
Okay. Double check Julius, though.
Despondent Julius.
We will make no attempt to resist. Yeah, we saw that. So, Lucia. Strange bedfellows. With the immediate crisis averted, Lucia seeks to gain a clearer understanding of the present situation. Ooh, someone else is on.
Before we proceed, let me tell you what... Before we proceed, tell me what you know of the First Legion and the disposition of their forces. They're in a bad way.
Yeah, and somewhat worse than we realize since we don't know the latest news.
They were preparing for war while their refugees in their care were left to go hungry? A reckless, short-sighted plan that risks the welfare of the people they are sworn to protect. Nevertheless, we cannot compel them to accept our aid. If we are to arrive in force with the intent to do so, we would only incite panic. But perhaps they can persuade to follow one of their own. Go with Julius back to the station. Have him lead the refugees here. Some may be unwilling or unable to leave, but for the time being, I'll take what I can get. Alphino, Alice, and the scouts are sent to extract them should... Alice, Alphino, and the scouts sent to extract them should already be at the station. I will have our comrades at the area lend their support should it be needed. Sorry, some of the words were wanting to flip there.
Meow.
I hate having dyslexia.
Understood. Guys, could you get these guys, like, escorted somewhere warmer?
Yeah, don't leave them out in the cold. I will have the food and bedding prepared for the refugees. Getting them here safely, however, is my immediate concern.
Yeah. Oh, and would you look at that?
Oh, side quests! Hello, side quests. We should probably do you right now.
Uh-huh. Especially since one of them is probably an aether current. Maybe save that for last, though. Is there more than the 2? Yes, there's 3. 2 regulars and 1 probable aether current.
Just a second. We currently have 4 aether currents on foot and none of quests.
Yeah, this is the... We haven't gotten a lot of side quests. I think there's 1 previous round. So yeah, this is the first time a questing aether current has come up. Help me to help you. Minuki's worried expression rather spoils his otherwise formidable accountants. Accountants. Bad. Accountants, please.
Cow-tenants? Moo?
Meow. Stop it. There are no cowgirls in this game, and probably never will be. You have to make do with cat girls.
And big cat daddies.
Yes. I have a question. Do I look imposing? Intimidating, perhaps? You're an aura, yes.
He looks so dejected. You need to
Sorry.
work on your aura resting bitch face. Sorry, Manuki.
He just doesn't have the same talent Gyoto has.
Well, Gyoto, I kind of dialed into auras are like this, so I kind of turned it to 11 on him.
I think it's 12. I think that face goes to 12.
Sorry, we didn't mean to interrupt you, Manuki. Continue.
Sorry, you must think it strange I would ask such a thing. Truth is, I encountered a boy near one of the storerooms, and when I called out to him, he ran away at the sight of me, only trying to lend a helping hand. Later on, I learned that the place was used as a granary, so the lad was most likely searching for food. Now, thanks to me scaring him off, he probably had to go hungry. I think he's talking about Julius.
Maybe.
I couldn't live with myself if he starved because of me, though I fear he'd only run off if I tried to approach him. I wonder, perhaps you wouldn't mind going in my stead? Well, okay. Not Julius. Here, you might find him more easily with this telescope. May the Kami guide you.
Right, more telescope thingies.
Yes. Scouting for scouts. Scouts must excel in keeping themselves hidden, but when even their own comrades cannot locate them, there is surely trouble afoot. Please, a moment of your time. Friend who was sent out on reconnaissance has been gone far too long, and she's not responding to her link pearl. Will you help me look for her?
By all means.
I've already got a telescope. I knew you would. Let's split up. I'll search around the camp while you head for the lake.
And you
An hour later.
There was a third?
Yeah, over here.
Oh, besides him.
No. This was the third that we just took. The second one was the unlock.
Your choice.
Since there's only 3, let's go ahead. If there's a whole bunch of them, I'd say, yeah, let's save it. In pursuit of power. Rimmelna would like your opinion on something. Just who I was looking for. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Rimmelna of Ishgard. I've been put in charge of our arrangement with Tapper's Den, you see. However, the very first of the Tappers to come bearing ceruleum has asked quite a lot of us, if I do say so. They wish for our help in getting Juturna Platform G up and running. The very same platform that's at the head of the Imperial's primary energy pipeline. What's more, he's a Gurlian. I was convinced the only engineers left in Tapper's Den were from conquered territories. In any case, I'm not qualified to judge the motives of the man. I'd feel much more at ease if I had someone of your experience helping to make the call. I thank you for your willingness to assist. Let us go and speak with the Tapper in question. He's a man by the name of Appius. Yeah, that's a Gurlian name.
Zoom?
Yep. Giving him an actual number. Oh, perfect. Someone else gets to take my chocobo carriage out for a drive.
No, it's my chocobo carriage. You have your own.
This one's mine. Looks just like it.
All the chocobo carriages look just like this. Hello, Apis. What can we do for you, sir?
I suppose you must be the friend Rimmelna wanted to fetch. have my thanks for getting him to agree to my proposal. Do not misunderstand. I've yet to agree to any such thing. I merely wanted someone else present during our talk. Very well, though I do believe my preferred deal would be a boon to us and the Ilsebird contingent alike. I used to work on Zertuna Platform G, you see, so I know more than most about the facility and its operation. That may be so, but your relationship to the facility notwithstanding, why should a Gurlian such as yourself still be taking refuge in Tapper's Den? We've been led to believe the former workers residing there were from other territories. You're right on the technicality. I was a supervisor rather than your typical staff. When the platform went down, it only seemed right that I stay with my crew. I always thought we were close, but living alongside them in Tapper's Den has made me realize that I took them and their skills for granted. And that's to say nothing of the blind eye I turned to their struggles. That's why I came to you. It's high time I be of some real use to them, and everyone else if we're lucky. If we manage to get the platform back in working order, it'll dramatically increase our capacity to pump and refine ceruleum for everyone in the region. Sadly, we're more than a few hands short of a full workforce, not to mention the lack of supplies. Which is precisely where you come in. Help us get things up and running again, and you'll have your share of ceruleum coming out of the rig. You couldn't come up with a more mutually beneficial agreement if you tried. So he says, what do you think? Seems trustworthy to me.
My thing is it whether he's trustworthy or not, the rest of the tappers are important, and it's worth trying.
And really, once he gets it up and going, what's he going to do without the rest of the team to keep it going? Yes, I'd been leaning the same way myself. Ultimately, what he says about the potential benefits is true. Nevertheless, I doubt the higher-ups would assent to this. I suppose that is how it goes when you're dealing with military types. For what it's worth, I do understand the hesitancy to throw your lot in with someone from a hostile nation. Thus, part 2 of my proposal. I shall do you a service to prove myself worthy of the contingent's trust. I had a look around the fringes of your camp here before you arrived, and I've spotted a few ceruleum engines in need of repair. If I fix them up, your superiors would have no reason to suspect I want to see you driven out. Less reason, at any rate. Assisting us with use of the local technology would go a long way, I'd imagine. That said, I've not heard anything about the ceruleum engines we've scavenged breaking down. It's not as if they're entirely useless, yet. But I guarantee they're not running as they should. Give me the opportunity, and I can have them working more efficiently and safely. You're welcome to accompany me while I do so. That way you can ensure that I don't get up to anything suspect, and then vouch for me with your superiors. I have no objections. I trust you will sense anything amiss.
More or less.
Maybe. Let us begin with a proper inspection, then. We can get to work as soon as you're ready.
Yeah, we can do that. Oops. Want to go ahead and hit Romanald? I hit Aspis by mistake.
Ah. My apologies for dragging you into this, but I do appreciate the help. Keep an eye on him when you go to inspect those engines.
Our buddy Ash is debating whether he wants to sit on the stream because he doesn't want spoilers, but he wants to hang out, And he thinks he's behind us, and he's not.
No, he's ahead. Though the ultimate objective is to get the engines running at full capacity, the purpose of this inspection is to work out what parts we'll need. However, I would hate to fumble something and be accused of sabotage, so I'd appreciate it if you could be the one to lay hands on the devices. Never fear, I'll be right behind you, telling you what to look for. If we inspect, say, 3 of them, we should have a decent idea of what needs repair. Lead the way.
Give me a second.
Poof. Normal now stays the same. And tell me when you're ready to talk to Appius. Not that he's saying much different. Remember, 3 engines in total. You do the touching.
Right. Touchy, touchy.
Touchy.
Okay, where are these engines? Ah,
Possibly
there's one.
inside? Yep, there's one. Okay. Nope. Nothing different.
Ah, there's one inside here.
Yeah, I figured they'd probably be inside buildings mostly. And just to double check the other room. Nope.
That's 2. Checking around the back here.
Yeah. Okay, not in there. Not there.
Ah, there it is.
Here it is. Praise be to your deft hands. I have an idea what our next step ought to be. Oh, perhaps it would be best to apprise Hermana of our progress first.
Right. Trudge, 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 trudge.
Mm-hmm.
I am so glad Tataru gave me this non-questionable fashion jacket. Sometimes I worry about that girl.
Well, she, like buys enough cloth for a Lalafell and then realizes she needs to make it stretch over a Hume. Or here. How are our engines? Alas, I fear that each of those we examined are guaranteed to break down sooner or later should you continue using them in their current state. Surely you jest? I swear it on my integrity as an engineer. You're in dire need of instruction in the proper operation of ceruleum engines. You saw the little lamp light up when you touched the switch, right? That only illuminates when there's an issue with the engine. Oh great, it's a check engine light. They were switched off for want of fuel when the settlement was abandoned. Sorry, that's still obvious. They were switched off for want of fuel when the settlement was abandoned, no doubt, which prevented them burning out. Only to let them freeze solid instead ere your lot turned them on. From the state they're in, I can only assume it didn't occur to you to warm them up first. I noticed you have heating technology of your own. It'll do you no good should the engines to power them break, now will it? You have nothing to lose and everything to gain from my assistance. I am a machinist from Frozen Climes myself. What you say sounds plausible enough. Very well. On behalf of the camp, I formally ask you to repair the ceruleum engines. I suppose that means I will be taking responsibility if anything goes wrong, so you may as well use your own 2 hands this time. That's the spirit. I knew you'd come around. Didn't even leave the camp.
Nope. Remonad?
Hold on. Finally caught up. Actually, Appius.
Mm-hmm.
Now that Remelma knows I'm worthy of his trust, we need only prove it to his superiors. Camp broken engines. Remelma perhaps requires some thawing. Ere you become even more excited, will you indeed require additional parts to perform your repairs? I cannot say I spotted any likely spares while setting up the camp. Ah, it's so good to have a quick thinking machinist like yourself on my side. No amount of flattery will convince me to take you to my superiors ere we have physical proof of your good intentions. Now focus, please. Are spare parts required? Yes or no? Yes, you're awfully tense about the shoulders. Did you know that? I will be needing a replacement carburetor for one of the engines. Fortunately, the same sort of engines were in use at Monitoring Station G last I checked. We ought to be able to find what we need there. After I've swapped out the faulty part and made my other repairs, I'll warm the engines up properly. That should clear any ceruleum residue and allow them to run at full capacity once more. That in mind, I want to start taking things apart. Can you fetch the carburetor for me? Do you even know what a carburetor is? She's a bona fide hero, you know. You can't just ask her to do your bidding, and rudely at that.
I'm used to being ordered around.
Yeah.
At this point.
If you're certain, you will need to look for a sort of tube connected to the ceruleum engine's core. Many Magitek devices utilize them. Never fear, I shall keep an eye on Appius.
Adios.
No, it's carburetor. Carburetor.
You know I am a machinist, thank you.
Yeah, though, we're kind of specialized in things that don't use carburetors.
This is true.
I mean, I've seen one or two when Sid was not fixing the car.
$487 to the northeast. Sorry, northwest.
And we're going east, so yeah, not much help there. I think we've kind of cleared out the area we're headed to.
I kind of figured, but I wanted to check.
Yes, it was well worth it. And speaking of, or are you going to one of the others? Yeah, you're going to that one. Okay.
Unfortunately, I keep getting walled off.
Yeah. And keep an eye out. This is the kind of place they might... Well, no, we already know there's nothing in range. This is the type of place they would stick an aether current. Okay.
There he is.
Looks clear.
We're gonna have to stealth him again, aren't we?
Oh, I hope not. Spotted the boy carrying a crate in the direction of Liminal Station 4. Okay. Wow. Oh, okay. That's main story? Yeah. That's right.
Oh.
We took main story and then spotted everything.
So we're going this way.
A little bit further north.
Oh, there's one just over here.
No, you want to go a little bit further north. You're just south of things.
Right here.
And there's the local boy.
Port right, local boy. Excuse me.
What do you want?
No, calm down. We're here to help.
Tommy, did you? So what? I didn't do anything wrong. Finders keepers.
And that's fine. I think you need more than that, though.
This food ain't just for me. The others need it too. I know you're just trying to help, but we can look after ourselves. If your friend's worried about us, tell him we'll be alright. Till this food runs out anyway.
Are you sure about that, boy?
We're gonna be FedExing back and forth.
And do you hear what I hear?
What? No, I don't. No, I don't need help carrying it. Just having a rest, that's all.
Yeah.
At the moment, I'm just hearing stone music.
No, no, no. I hear it.
So
It's
far,
here
just stone
somewhere.
music. I might need to turn my zone music a bit down. Of course, yeah, this is a platform we went right by in the main story earlier.
Look! Cars!
Yeah.
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 Who needs an Aether
Kinda-
compass?
Kind of figured, but yeah, I was just not hearing it over the music.
Well, my music had cut off, so I was like, wait, I hear something.
Okay, let's see here. Travel, ether currents. So yeah, that puts us at 1 and 5. Which ties it with Labyrinthos.
Which would be about right.
Yeah, Thavnir is currently 2 and 5.
Time to start scavenging parts.
Mm-hmm. This carburetor appears to be intact. Appius will know for certain. Huh? I guess we just needed the one.
Yeah. Oh, and looky.
Yeah.
You two okay?
Yeah, look
Civilian?
at what they'd already taken down. Ugh.
Thank goodness you're here. Never mind me. This man is in desperate need of aid.
Checking her. Yeah, same thing afterwards.
I thought he could use my help, so I called him out. But but he soon bolted in fear. That's when one of the fiends appeared out of nowhere and pounced on him. Although I rushed to fend it off, it had already signaled to its packmates. Then, just as they had me on the back foot, you arrived. I would have called for assistance if my hands weren't already full, but thanks to your timely intervention, I can finally send for troops to take this poor fellow to safety. I'll move him to a more secure location until our commander gets here. While you and I are both perfectly capable of conveying the situation via link pearl, perhaps it would set their minds at ease if you could speak to them in person? Once he's caught his breath, I'll get him out of the open. I'm sure there's a good hiding place nearby.
He's not much of a conversationalist.
Yeah. And that's all 3 of the side quests.
Mm-hmm.
And double checking. 611 yalms to the north. Not even close.
No.
But that should bring us to 5 and 1?
No, we already got it. So we're already at 5 and 1.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about earlier. Or, yeah. Is that what? Was it 5 and 1 or 5 and 2? Yeah, 5 and 1.
Yeah, 5 and 1.
Yeah, and Labyrinthos is also 5 and 1. Thavnair is 2 and 5.
That would make sense.
Yeah, so it's technically the furthest along. But probably not for long.
Rimonal?
Never fear, I shall keep an eye on Appius. And not a moment too soon. Were you able to find an intact carburetor? Presumably. A key component in any Cerulean engine that works properly.
I assume this is what you wanted, sir?
This will do it. Now Rimona and I can finish fixing up those engines in no time at all. One carburetor to fix 3 engines? There, everything's in order. These should be much more efficient, and you'll notice they've stopped making strange and ominous noises. I must say, I am taken aback by your abundance of skill. Allow me to thank you on behalf of everyone here at Camp Broken Glass. Oh, the pleasure's all mine. Happy to be of service. You do seem genuine about that. Tell me, do you have some sort of connection to Camp Broken Glass? In a way, I hail from Laterum, as it happens. It was a village here, precisely where your camp is now. It acted as a checkpoint for those visiting the capital, but it was also home to the Regs workers and our families. Obviously, much has happened since last I could call this place home, but in my heart of hearts, it always will be. I must apologize for effectively occupying your home, yet place the full burden of proving good faith in your dealings upon you. Oh no, I couldn't blame you for that. We hardly had a viable alternative to abandoning Laterum, knowing we could never defend ourselves against wandering bands of maddened soldiers. But that reality is no more your fault than ours. Even if you vacated right this instant, I doubt many of us would return. We simply don't have the resources. Until Juturna Platform G is back in working order, that is. Truth be told, your presence here is what has me daring to hope. If you agree to help me now, there may come a day when the other survivors and I can come home. That's the plan.
There's a lot of higher-ups that actually would want just that.
Fury above, I certainly can't turn you away now, and you've proven yourself with your work this day. I have no lingering qualms about approaching my superiors with your proposal. Truly? Oh, I could kiss you. In a thoroughly non-Roman way?
As long as it's not a French way.
Or Greek.
Obvious?
Hold on.
Hmm. You must be typing something.
Yes.
Action is having joy because he made cookies and they apparently came out really good.
Okay, Appius. Perhaps I should temper my expectations. Or is it better to remain positive? Quick, tell me what face better endears you to my cause. Operation Reactivation. Rilma is now surprisingly keen to get the platform up and running. If there are no objections, I will speak to the quartermaster about getting the necessary men and supplies for this operation straight away. He is stationed just over there in the pavilion. Could I trouble you to accompany me? It might help if another can testify to Appius's sincerity and competence.
I'll agree to that.
Great idea. What are we waiting for? One would think he didn't have a care in the world. Let us pray that Estelo is amused rather than irritated.
Actually, our Garlean friend here is acting very much the engineer.
Yeah. I have something to fix. I can fix it. I am happy.
Before we do that, Talon?
Mm-hmm. Godspeed good. I'll dispatch troops at once. We're lucky you got here when you did, though I wonder what drew that civilian to such a dangerous place to begin with. Perhaps he was in search of supplies? I doubt he'd find much food in that particular area, so it must have been fuel he was after. If I were him, I'd try that enormous extraction facility on the lake, but it sounds like he was hoping to get ceruleum from the water itself. Seems like a tricky task at the best of times, although I expect the folks around these parts have their methods. If so, they could probably stay holed up for months on end, providing there's enough food to go around. Now, the main thing is he and my friend are no longer in any danger. I see now that you're every bit the hero people say you are, not that I ever doubted it.
All this talk of cookies is making me want to go get my hand in the cookie jar for more Carowin cookies.
Yeah, and before you do that, order dinner.
Yeah, well, in a minute.
Right after these messages. Did you manage to track him down?
We did, but he refused our aid again.
That's a relief, though his outright refusal of our help is concerning. We came here with the best of intentions, but barely a moment's consideration of how the people of Gurlimald might feel towards us. I suppose it's only natural they'd be wary. If they won't accept our aid, we can still make their lives a little easier. We'll start by making the area around the granary safer, so they can gather food whenever they please. Here, I'd like you to have this for giving me peace of mind.
That's actually not a bad idea, Minuki.
Yeah, make the area safer, but don't remove anything.
Or add anything.
Yeah. And be obvious about not adding anything.
Apis?
Whew. The nerves are really setting in now.
Terminal?
This is the quartermaster, Estilo. Have you two not met?
Hello,
I don't think
Estilo.
we've been introduced. Ah, Criminal. I see you've brought Mr. Sarnath, Master Vexna, and... Is that the envoy from Tapper's Den? Yes? You see, sir, it all began with Appius here.
One long, dry conversation later.
I see. It would certainly be a boon to us if the platform was restored to working order. No doubt. So, you agree to help? On one condition, you must first confirm that the platform can be reactivated.
Fair enough.
We aren't blessed with a surfeit of personnel and resources, you know. Thus are reaching out to the Tappers to begin with. We cannot waste time and manpower on operations with little chance of success. Criminal, you are tasked with assessing the current state of Juturna Platform G, as well as the precise resources we would need to commit to reactivating it. I shall make my final decision on how to proceed once I am fully abreast of the situation. Yes, sir. In that case, Relia, Theron, and I will accompany you. Thanks for volunteering us. You really ought to stop making decisions on their behalf, but I would be glad for the company. Meet us at Juturna Platform G, if you would. Appius can help me carry the equipment.
Can do.
If it
Yeah.
can be reactivated, that platform will play a key role in restoring these lands to their former habitability. I pray you return with good tidings.
I do too.
Okay, and before we go off on a hike...
Should I order dinner?
Yeah.
What would you like for dinner? The eternal question.
Yeah, well...
By the way, did the Dasher last time ring the doorbell for Pasta Market?
I think he did.
Okay, so what would you like for dinner?
I don't know. I did have Rubio's for lunch, but it wasn't what I normally have, so I could do that. Could do Black Bear. Could do pretty much anything.
Oh, we got a lot of leftovers in the fridge, so I don't want to add to them.
This is wise. And I will say those sausages are good.
Of course they're good. Kara wouldn't pick them out.
How does it stop a rampaging adventurer in his tracks? Ask them what they want for dinner.
Yeah. The eternal question. Want to try and stay away from carbs because I'm kind of feeling them.
Yeah.
Panda.
If the weather had been nastier today, you might have been stuck with pizza, though. Since one of the thoughts was to basically order pizza in for everyone.
No, I don't blame them on that one.
Yeah, thankfully the weather was not actually that bad.
Though there is something to be said about saying screw the carbs and order Pasta Market because it will come in piping hot.
Yes.
I have no idea what I want for dinner.
yeah. And
We've
this
had...
is why Baron looked at us funny on occasion.
Yes. I'm kind of... Actually,
Yep.
why don't you get the drive out while I continue going through the phone? You have your new chocobo carriage.
All aboard the bus.
Boop boop. Um, Hawaiian would give leftovers.
Yeah, sadly.
Panda would give leftovers.
Yep.
Had Five Guys for lunch.
There's either type of tacos.
Might just say screw it and order pizza.
I wouldn't object, but I know your gut would.
Yeah. Don't get old. It sucks.
Yeah, but it beats the alternative. There's only one way to avoid getting old.
Not dying?
Well, dying is the way to avoid getting old.
Let's punt to Pasta Market.
Okay. Go ahead and order me another lasagna.
Give me a second. No, I don't want national favorites. I want my Pasta Market.
Yeah, which is not going to be a national favorite.
No, it's a very local place.
There are like 3 of them, but hey.
One meat lasagna?
Mm-hmm.
And one baked rigatoni with garlic bread. I will forgo the tiramisu because the baked rigatoni is going to be more than enough.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay, we will stream until the Dasher arrives for that. Then we'll go off air, eat dinner, and then come back on the buns. That is the plan for the evening. Isn't that right, Reminold? Ow? Ow?
Meme image. It's from Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. With Snow White in bed, and the dwarves are all peeking over the foot of the bed. That scene. Now, I want you to all stay home during this pandemic and stay safe. Except for you, Sneezy. You can fuck off.
Oh, that's cruel! Okay, Reminold.
That's why I was going, ow.
You know, he probably just has allergies.
Yeah. This is an Imperial facility, to be sure. Garish, if you ask me.
Yeah, not a stone brick to be seen. Cold, cold stone brick.
Well, instead it's cold, cold metal. I do so miss the days when we had a full crew. Pumping and tinkering and operating heavy machinery on too little sleep. As much as I would like to know what in the hell's you're on about, we have no time to be revisiting old memories. We're here for one reason, and one reason only. I know. At least the exterior seems unharmed. I'll head inside and have a look around. Can you two stay here and make sure nothing large and hungry is waiting for me when I come back?
I think we can do that.
That sounds reasonable. Really, Theron, let us keep our wits about us. Excellent. I'll see you both in a bit.
Oh, look, you're standing on the destination. How quaint. That is a heck of a ring.
Ah, Appius, how did it look? The equipment appears undamaged, though temperatures are so low that we'll need to be careful about how we turn everything on again. It's just... What? Is there another issue? In a word, yes. I couldn't find the identification key. Without it, there's no way to activate the platform, even if it were in pristine condition. And why exactly was it designed with such an obvious flaw? Flaw? Eternate Platform G is the capital's main supplier of ceruleum. It wouldn't do if anyone could turn it off and on now, could it, would it? The key is always kept secure, and there are only 2 people able to open the container it's usually stored in. Myself and Chief Frontinus. I haven't seen him since this blasted war began, but I can only imagine he's out there somewhere, key in hand.
Ah, so we're on a rescue mission, mission. We can do this. You think he which means he avoided being tempered.
Let's hope so. I've never met anyone quite as loyal to the Empire's Chief Frontinus. He probably took the key to stop anyone from misusing the platform. And I'd say he succeeded in his aim, stayed dormant this whole time, and out of the hands of the warring factions. Indeed. Now we just need to find out where he is. I'm sorry for wasting your time. There's no way we can get this place up and running without that key. Don't tell me you're going to give up just like that.
Not after I found that carburetor for you.
Yeah. I suppose you're right. With the 3 of us together, surely we can think of something.
We can, and we will.
Yes? I appreciate your optimism, but how are we going to solve this problem?
We're going to follow our light senses.
Mm-hmm.
It usually works.
Energy for all. Remona has precisely one solution in mind, which is notably better than 0. Is there really no way to bypass the mechanism that the identification key interacts with? What exactly do you mean?
He means we carjack the thing.
I work at the manufacturer in Ishgard. I once watched my superior, as is his way, dismantle a Magitech armament and put it back together again. He succeeded in bypassing the verification mechanism required to activate the machine by rewiring it. I was wondering if something similar wouldn't be possible with the platform. That's something a second-rate thief would do. Well, beggars can't be choosers. Save your chief engineer appearing out of thin air, it's likely our only option. You've got a point there. And far be it from me to turn down a proposal from an esteemed colleague. I'm so glad to have you at my disposal. That's the spirit, I suppose. I shall return to camp to inform the quartermaster of our plan. He should be willing to spare an external power source and a few other tools if I vow to return them soon. Perhaps even some extra pairs of hands.
You might want to talk to one of the Ironworks folks.
Mm-hmm. That leaves me to open up the control panel and rearrange a few things before Remino returns.
Excuse me.
In the meantime, I thank you to keep an eye out for anything that might eat him on the way back. There are never so many beasts around here, but they must have gotten comfortable without us traipsing back and forth across the ice. A little too comfortable, if you ask me.
And back to Camp Broken Glass.
Because where else would we be going?
Oh, and just checking.
Actually, we're going someplace a lot closer.
Well, 801 yalms to the north.
Yeah. Monster ambush time.
I'll take
yeah.
You got that Goblin okay?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I kind of figured as much.
Just about simultaneous kills.
It's what we do.
Well, it means we're pretty well even on with each other damage-wise. So, how goes the carjacking? I've done all I can for now. I even caught the end of your battle with those creatures. Spectacular.
Which actually means you did pretty well, because those things kind of went poof.
Yeah. Okay. And definitely all machinists.
Yep.
Ready to get to work, I hope? Of course. All that's left is to engage in a bit of Ishgardian skullduggery. I'm not sure I care for that turn of phrase, but very well. We'll attach the power devices, which should allow you to utilize the control panel. Thrilling. This place will be up and running before you know it. Just stand back and watch the master at work.
Oh, I'm going to turn on the front lights so the Dasher knows where our
It's
front
already
door
on.
is. Oh, you did that?
The front hull light at any rate.
Okay, that works.
I turned it on when Jason left.
Ah.
Because I knew it'd be needed and it was already getting dim. It worked. Yes? You bet it did. There's life in the old girl yet. Of course, there's still a lot of work to be done to get it ready to extract and refine ceruleum, but we're off to an excellent start. Which means Garlemald just took its first steps on the road to recovery. Cannot thank you both enough.
Yeah, we'll be needing some of that ceruleum too, but this works
that's
out.
Part of the point.
This works out for everybody. Which is actually kind of our point of being here in the first place.
Mm-hmm. We're not in the business of leaving a desolate wasteland behind us.
No.
I'll be feeling that thrill for days. Fortunate am I to have such brilliant new friends. I'm pleased that this plan was a success after all. I appreciate your seeing it through to the end. We can leave the rest to the engineers I brought with me. They're more than capable of keeping the place operational until we're prepared for the next phase. Now, let us all return to camp and inform Estilo of our triumph.
Okay, now we return to Camp Broken Glass.
Mm-hmm. Really? Yeah, you might as well join in.
Got 3 of them! Up,
Yeah.
2. Nope, 1. Bye-bye! As we work our way past the Ebst.
Yes, do your Ebst.
You're horrible, you know that.
Moi? So, can blue mages say they learned from the Ebst?
I think they can.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
That was a hiccup.
Oops. In the stream?
You seem to just stop in front of that yak and then suddenly dash forward.
Oh yeah, that was definitely a internet burp.
Hiccup. Yeah. First one I've noticed.
Okay, Estelo. We think we've got a plan.
Ah, good to see you again. I was just wondering when I might hear how you had fared with the platform. Pretty well. And it seems I won't have any longer to wait. I trust your eagerness is a sign that you've had some success. Yes, sir. We were able to access the platform's controls and confirm that it is operational. There are still adjustments to be made, but I imagine it won't be long until it's fully operational. Splendid. If the camp can secure a stable supply of energy, we can begin rebuilding throughout the region. It will doubtless give succor to those in Tapper's Den and the capital proper as well. One of our goals when we first came here was to improve the lives of those that still call this frozen land home. You have made a great contribution towards realizing that ambition. Thank you, sir. I certainly wouldn't have made it this far without your genius. The days when Gorilla Mold looked toward a bright future seem so distant now that the snow and frost have reclaimed their dominion. But I, for one, am ready to embark on the same journey that my ancestors once did and build a new home around the warmth of cerulean flame. I am certain that when the time comes, I shall be proud to know that I worked alongside you. I must thank you as well. You've taught me to listen with sincerity to the words of those who I would otherwise have unjustly scorned. Hey, you had your doubts, but you were willing to listen. I imagine that it will be some time before we can return Laterum to its former inhabitants. But I promise that when we do, it will be in better state than when you left. Well then, we'd better get to work. Ah, we, indeed.
And off they go.
Mm-hmm.
Happy engineers in their happy engineer state.
Oh dear.
I'm taking the money.
Proper Russian food.
Yes. Yes, it was.
Borscht.
Let's
They
be
have
honest.
borscht.
This is kind of a proper Russian winter.
Yes, it is. I will go with the mikabab. Traditional food of my people.
I thought the traditional food of your people was fish. Not Hansa.
Fish meat kebab? Okay, and
I have to
then-
admit, I was kind of sad we did not get the cookbook for Christmas, but that's okay. It's not
Yeah.
like I can cook. Though I doubt they have meat kebabs in the cookbook.
You never know.
They do have coffee biscuits, though.
Mm.
Coffee biscuits. Of which we've never gotten a follow-up to the fair that the girls were planning for the Crystarium.
Right.
So that's technically a dangling plot thread. Because we said we'd be there, and it's not like they can't send us a letter and we can't receive it.
Yes.
Thank you, Fail Ool.
Yeah, we've had a couple of impacts around here.
Just a few. There was a lot of things I wanted to say to Quintus, but he'd probably never hear them.
Yeah.
Or correction, he would hear but not listen.
Yeah. Look out for the bombs. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid the bombs. And the other Machina around.
Uh-huh. But we really do not need someone to set us up the bomb.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, here are the scouts. Asvendo?
'Tis a comfort to see thee none the worse for thy recent ordeals.
Graha?
Oh, I did not expect you to arrive so soon. Soon might not be the word. There's been a development. Perhaps you'd best see for yourself.
Oh dear. First Legion?
What are you doing back here? Where are Julius and the others? On their way.
Theron, Relia, and Julius. We arrived just before you did, and it's too late.
Too late for what? What's happened? It's Lord Quintus. He took his own life. After news about the 10th, he relieved us of our duties. Then, when he was alone, he... No, he wouldn't. Thancred and the others, assisted by the soldiers, have seen to the remains. In due course shall the legatus be afforded a proper burial. He released us from our duty. He wanted us to be free to choose our own fate. Without him to guide us, have just this moment spoken with Lucia. We are ready to commence the transfer of the refugees here to Camp Broken Glass, should they be willing to accept our aid. Some would rather die. Most of us just want to live. Songs and standards be damned, we just want to live.
We'll need to speak with the refugees. They'll have to decide for themselves if they wish to come with us. If any would prefer to stay, we can help have supplies brought over for them. It'll be a hard journey for the others, but we'll see that they reach our camp safely.
I... After what happened to his family, first was all Julius had left. Now even that's been taken away from him. He's not alone in that either. There's a comfort in having someone to follow, someone to lead.
I understand that one all too well.
Oh no. Back here.
Hmm? Oh! Rostic!
To think that we'd end up taking the First Legion themselves, or what remains of them, into our care. Not so long ago, such a thing would have been inconceivable. But these are strange times indeed.
Strange indeed.
But yeah. Oh, and over here.
Oh. Oh! Kokobushi!
Mm-hmm.
Kokobuki. Sorry.
Yes.
Kokobushi is one of the other brothers.
Yes. Leave these fiends to my brothers and I. We will raze them to the ground with our most devastating magics.
I am sure you will.
Yes. Be careful on the bombs and ceruleum sprites. They could explode.
Yeah, that would be bad.
And we're to and love you shall find here.
Thedora? I do hope the Elzabard contingent actually makes some kind of difference around here.
That's the hope.
Any luck, Chichito? We've roads covered, don't you worry. Things may get chaotic out here, but just take it slow and steady as you can, all right? We're here. A menu?
MNU. No matter what may betide, I have my daughter, and that alone shall keep me from succumbing to even the darkest of nights. I think he's unchanged.
Yeah.
On the other hand, who's
Okuya?
here is somewhat changed.
Our pride, our culture, our knowledge. All of it. Gone. Slavis?
At least the pain proves I'm not dead yet.
No, you're not. We're working on that. Arianje?
To employ healing magics now would likely invite catastrophe, as thou canst attest from thy experiences at Victor's spoils. Indeed, the Garleans view our ability to manipulate Aether with the same suspicion that many Eorzeans do Magitech.
That surprises me little. Spurious?
There's a name. Since hearing about Lord Quintus, I confess I have many and more thoughts on the subject. Few can deny he was a man of principle, misguided though he may have been.
This is very true. Everything's going to be all right now. Oh, I hope so. Or at least better.
Mm-hmm.
Estinian?
I know not how to offer encouragement or solace to these poor souls, but if a safe passage to our camp they need, I'd gladly oblige.
Malice?
Back here?
I think we already talked to him and he's the, Oh, he does say something different.
Yeah, it's going to lead into the same thing, but... Lord Quintus was our rock in the storm, and now we are without a leader, without direction. Nevertheless, we must live on, even if that means consorting with our former enemies. Well, what do you want?
Nothing.
Malleus. Get out of my ear, will you? I'm exhausted and the last thing I need is you and your drivel. I don't think he's changed.
No, he has not changed.
Want to check back at the train?
We'll come back
Or see
around
if-
to it.
Okay, see if these guys are...
Yes, he'll talk to us.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Minder?
He'll repair.
Okay, so we've actually opened that up.
We'll check the Aetherite in a moment.
Celios?
Kisio. I'm still trying to get this Aetherite working again. If nothing else, we might be able to reach other parts of the city to scavenge for provisions. Okay, so Aetherite is still down.
Thancred?
Best not to dwell on it. Not when there's work to be done. This is where it happened. Why? Try as we might, any words of comfort we may offer are like to fall on deaf ears. We are but strangers from foreign lands, perhaps in their eyes the very cause of their suffering to begin with. Nevertheless, we mustn't give up. Yeah, you've got 100 years of not giving up to fall back on.
Dosians?
Our leader may be gone, and the world may be falling to ruin, but my duty to my people will never change. Such is the life of a soldier.
What's the old Doman saying? If you cannot serve your lord, serve your people?
It was only ever a dream, wasn't it? To think we could reclaim it. Rebuild it all ourselves. Before all this began, I sent my wife and daughter away to the provinces. If there's a chance you might see them again, I'll take it. So take me with you. Please. No problem. I can walk, I think. Just give me a few more moments.
If you want, we have heating tinctures.
Well, got the Aetherite sorted in the end. All it took was a few adjustments, and now it works as well as it ever did. From what I can tell, the one in Laterum is also functioning as normal. That's where you lot are staying, isn't it?
Yes.
Now that most of us are packing up and leaving this place, I reckon there will be more use for me and my skills over at your camp. I think it's touchy time. Yes! And what's food saying?
Dasher is nearby.
Okay.
He's on the main street outside. Oh,
Yep.
and look at all the side quests.
Oh dear. We not only unlocked the Aetheryte, we unlocked the side quests.
See.
Oh dear. Shall we get started?
Though it is almost dinner time.
Yeah, do we want to just kind of sit around and wait?
I am
Teach
going
them how to play Fizbin? That'll take a while.
I'm debating on whether we should stay here or out there. It's warmer here, but other people need this warmth too.
It's not exactly as if we're consuming warmth.
True.
Or exothermic, we'll add it to it.
So we will crash here for now. We'll go have dinner, and we'll be back on probably in about an hour on the Bun Buns. Knock on wood.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just take things as they come.
Yeah.
Until then, you guys have a great dinner, and we'll see you later.
Yeah, everyone have a great dinner if you haven't had yours yet. If for some reason you're watching this and Baron stream at the same time, I hope you enjoy that. And we'll kind of not really see you again soon.